Um, it was my fault. I pushed the wrong button. Now everyone should be able to hear me.
Oh.
That's the problem if you have like 5 different programs on. I unmuted myself on one of them, but not on the other.
Oh.
So no one heard anything of what we just said. Well, we
Yeah,
already
I think
had
it's
quite a
working.
good discussion going. No one heard about our cheese. Now imagine you are the person watching this and all you
Oh,
see is just cheese, cheese, and you have no idea what's going on.
oh, everybody missed the fact that Alma puts
Oh.
water in Coke.
Oh
Now
yeah,
we need
right.
to spread that on Twitter. We're going to have a
Okay.
debate about that.
How about we just recap what we just said? Well,
Water on
well
Coke, cheese.
so apart from I think it was like three things. Apart from me, no one is getting drunk. I
Yeah.
put water in Coke because it's too sparkly, and I'm
And
gonna
it's
burn at
wrong.
the stake for it. And we
But
all
we
love
still love
cheese.
cheese. Yes.
And we
Yeah,
all love cheese. We could
we
agree
all
with
love
that.
cheese.
Yeah.
Do
That
you
was
want to
basically it,
talk
right?
about your work again? Do you mind um just going over it again?
Yes, please, Kat.
Your thoughts? Yeah.
Uh, what did you say?
She's
I'm
like,
sorry.
I forgot what I said.
Yes, exactly.
There's my work. There's a garbage heap and a city. Voila.
Oh, okay.
Well, I can talk about it if you want, or
So,
if you want
so
to sort of revisit.
long story short, okay, the 2020 was a trash. So you see a trash dump on the left picture, and on the right picture is my expectation for this year: bright new horizons. That's all. That short recap.
Very good.
Bullet points. Here's my tick list of everything I said. Bip, bip, bip. Well, then I'll talk about why I picked it. Okay. I love these images. I love the contrast between you have this sort of garbage heap in the city. So there's a lot of factors I love about the way you pulled this together. One, I like the fact that even in the garbage heap, there's sort of this trail to the back where you go to for the transmitter. I don't know what those structures are called, but I love that there's this sort of trail that goes back there. So and the way the composition of this image is where you have this sort of darkness on the bottom and this lightness on the top, and then you have this mist. So it works really well, and it is a perfect encapsulation of 2020 and in America, even into 2021 at this point, which is just really sad. But I digress. So I really that really sort of spoke to me, and then I really like the second one in contrast because from this garbage is or rubble or whatever buildings arise, and then the way your composition is and the direction that goes right, sort of in the lower right where the motorcycle is going into, is really great because it is sort of this really strong feeling of moving forward. I love the fact that you have this sort of cityscape as the horizon, and it's just, I really like the color palette of the sort of the oranges and the greens with the blue sky and stuff like that. So there's a lot of beautiful movement in this piece, which sort of reiterates the fact of you're kind of looking to the future. So I really love that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I love both of them. Good job on those.
But yeah, to conclude a bit, the left picture, yeah, the just last year was really, really harsh to me personally, not only because of lockdown, etc., etc. It's just like real life happened, and a lot of stuff that I would rather be living somewhere on a trash dump as well. So yeah, it's a kind of metaphoric even for me. So yeah. But
Well,
as I said, it was a lucky shot that I made in Cyberpunk when I was exploring that place, because it's also like that. Like I already said on Twitter, that I have a lot of pictures that I taken from Cyberpunk, and I'm not finished the game yet because of that, because of all the shooting that I'm making there. But I'm trying to compose the pictures together, and like I have a ton of pictures, but that they all just wait in their own specific time, like these two. Because for one picture it was something like, no, I'll not posting it. But yeah, it's a picture of the girl on a bike. I mean, your V on a bike. So yeah, and here it's just perfect.
yeah, yeah, it
Perfectly
works, and they
working.
work really well together, because even when when I put them next to each other, I love the fact that they this sounds sort of weird, but they almost make this sort of mountain, right? Because the
Hmm.
sky on the left one is sort of in the left corner, and the sky on the right's kind of in the right corner, and then you have these trails, because there's this sort of trail in the garbage going one way, and you have this horizon going into another way. Just they
Yeah,
work
yeah.
to me really well next to each other, on top of just individually, they're really good images. They're strong images on their own, but they work really well next to each other.
Thank you.
It's a
No,
great
very good.
set. And I also loved
Yeah.
that they're in contrast to each other. I even had to ask if they're from the same game because
Yes,
they look
yes.
so different. Like the left one, I actually assumed it was from Death Stranding because it has this bluish, grayish tone that you always see in Death Stranding
No,
pictures.
it's not even reshade on both of them. It's all from the game. So
So it's just in-game photo mode.
uh on the first one, not really, but second one, yes, it's a photo mode. But yeah, it's colors from the game. No reshades there.
Right, right. Yeah, it's very versatile, and you have those different areas. I didn't play it yet. I will when the next gen upgrade comes. Probably
Hmm.
I don't know, fall or winter or next year. We'll see.
I
But
mean, you'll be
when
like
it is,
you will be like me with Cyberpunk. I mean, you were saying something that you uh have a issue, quotation mark, for Valhalla, that you're not proceeding in the game because you're taking a lot of screenshots there. So
who told you
that
that?
you told.
I did. Oh,
Yes,
well, I
yes.
am progressing. I'm just progressing at a very slow speed.
Yeah, yeah, same. It's like I know that there are a lot of people who already completed Cyberpunk fully, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm making the second playthrough for another point of view, or making female or male, depending on what they play for the first time." And me is like, "Huh? I'm on just beginning of the act two."
Right.
So like I'm not even progressed in main story because I'm trying to make pictures, discover a lot of stuff. Yeah.
But if you think about it, it's been in development for so long, and so many people put
Yeah.
so much work into it. So you better just enjoy it.
Yes. Yes.
If you're through it in like I don't know 10 hours, you paid a lot of money for 10 hours.
Yeah.
I think the movies would be cheaper.
I agree actually.
Yeah, it's a great set.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
All right, want to move on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Next.
Next up, we have Lauren, and we're very happy that Lauren is here because she was sick. So we're very
Oh.
happy that you can actually talk to us.
I'm
Yeah.
excited to be here.
Right. What drove me to pick this set is actually more the second shot, because that one's just perfect. So it's so striking, and it's just it's a great shot. The use of color, or better actually the non-use of color, because all of it is gray or black and white apart from that red leaf, and that bit of color just draws your eye in exactly to that focal point. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Yeah. So on that image I got when I played my first playthrough and only playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima. I hope I said that right.
Probably.
Anyway, I picked that one for the theme because even though I didn't go into the photo mode with this theme of 2021, when I played this game, it kind of gave me the same feeling. And not to spoil the story for anybody, but Jin is having to go through a lot of trouble, and a lot of the stuff he has known and has lived his whole life is changing on him. A lot of bad things are happening. So, on this one moment in the game, I just wanted to have that moment of calm, like serenity to him, and him embracing the change, which is why I kind of did the dull colors to not draw away from everything. And then you have that one red leaf. And in my brain, like that red leaf shows autumn, and autumn symbolizes fall and change. So I was like, okay, we'll have that him embracing, not running away, his head's up high, embracing a future of hope. That's kind of where I was going with it. I hope that makes sense.
It
Oh,
makes
it
perfect
does.
sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great explanation as well. I have to confess, I actually didn't make the connection of autumn and change, and I love that you have that, because I just saw color and shape, and I probably have to blame Mrs. Livin for that, because she taught me that. Design nerd. But having that extra information about autumn and change, and you trying to implement that in the shot, makes it even better.
I'm a big symbolic person, so a lot of times I like to try to find something that can be like symbolism, or it might make sense to me. It may not make sense to anybody else. So it's fun to try and incorporate that into photos. So when I knew you can make him grab just like one leaf, I decided to have a little fun with it.
How did you do that? Is that something in the photo mode, like the particle movement that you used to it?
No, that actually is a action you can make him do in the game. If you like, I don't know if you've ever played it, but when you need to know what direction to go, you swipe up on your D-pad, and when it does, it blows the wind, and if you do it enough, he will like grab a leaf and hold it up to see which way the wind's blowing. So I did that.
Really?
Oh,
Oh,
Holy crap. Really?
Yeah. So I did
Nice.
that action and then caught the photo mode, and it just happened to have like that breath of him in the cold because he's like on top of a mountain in a snowstorm. So I
Oh,
was like, cool.
oh, that's smart.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I really like the two of these. It's they work really well as a nice contrast. I like the contrast between even the physical size of him, that being 2021, and then you have this sort of the other one, which is more of a landscape, and the figure is smaller, which is great because you're almost, like when you look behind, things are smaller, and as you look forward, things are larger. So there's this other kind of symbolism you can sort of like layer in that. And I do love sort of just his body position, because he's looking up. There's just it just so reiterates looking forward.
Hmm.
It's just really, these are just really nice shots.
Well,
Do you want
thank
to
you.
talk about the other one as well, Lauren? The 2021?
I mean, I can.
Yes, please. That's why we're here.
She's already trying to forget 2020. Like, what?
Right,
There's no
right,
shot
right.
there. I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Well, like I said, I love symbolism. And when I played Vampire, the game had a lot of similar points in it from like the epidemic of this time period and what's happening today. So you had like all these signs that, you know, wear your mask, cover your cough, go to the hospital, all that good stuff. And so when you said find something for 2020, I was like, I got to find something from this game because I feel like it just works so well. And I found this image and I was like, okay, so you've got all the bad stuff. It's got people dying on the street. It's, you got these like creepy little shadows. Everything's really dark. But then you also have those little spurts of light. And it's like in symbolism. For me, it was like, even though this year has been really dark, very negative, you do have those small moments of brightness. So I kind of like the little moments of lights all through it. And then you, for a little bit of humor, is like in the little right corner, there is a trash fire going, which symbolizes 2020 quite well. So that's kind of the thought process of that, to go with the 2021 theme of that hopeful, bright, just looking forward to it, and horrible 2020. So
Right. What I find so interesting about the 2020 shot is actually how not striking it is, but that's a good thing because it just so symbolizes 2020. You know how interesting things in history usually go with like a big bang or like a huge event, and you always think back to that event and you have something special, something big. But 2020 was just overall bad, and basically nothing happened. It just went on. There was not one big event with all the attention. It's just one big bad gloomy year. And with that shot,
Right.
it's just you have that little hunched figure, but it's not really distinct from the background. It could be basically anyone. Like it's not an important figure. It's just someone in the street. And you have these little lights here and there, but they're not bright enough to make the whole picture bright, but just have those little tiny spots here and there.
and that's what I was trying to go for. So I'm glad you got that.
Great. That's perfect.
Nice. Nice.
I love it when that works. Yeah, great set. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Good one. Next.
Next up, we have. Oh, I forgot it again. Damn, no one heard me butchering the name earlier, and now I have to do it again. Oh, no, you picked it, so you butchered the name.
Chuck. I'm not gonna.
I think we went with L. It's Black
Al? Okay.
Leviton. Leviton. So I can say it in German. It's Leviathan,
Yeah.
but that's probably not it.
Is it?
It is.
Blah. Can I just call it Betty? Okay. I'll talk about this one. Hold on. Wait, is she she's not here, right?
She's not here now,
like,
but she sent us
okay,
some.
I'm looking at
some
my
remarks.
notes. I'm looking at my notes. I'm looking at my notes. Yeah. Okay. Oh, well, it's probably a good thing she's not here because I'm butchering her name, maybe. Okay. Silver linings.
Well, sadly, no
Okay,
one can
so-
correct us.
Ah, good point. Okay, so I'm just gonna label it black. Okay, so the black and white image, it represents 2020, which is mourning, not okay. I'm not saying it right. Mourning, like mourning the death of something or the loss of something, and then 2021 is a new hope, which is obviously a pretty sweet play on the whole Star Wars thing. The first image is from the Ghost of, which I will also hatch it, Tashima.
Tashima.
You Join the club. I can't say that one either.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Tsushima. It's
Tsushima.
easy. Why? Why?
Yeah, I just call it
Oh,
GOT.
don't be
And
surprised. I'm always surprised by what Americans can't pronounce.
oh my God, yeah. Well, and having someone from Mississippi probably like for me being in the South is like even makes it even much more worse. About I always hatchet names. So I really like that concept of mourning the loss of 2020 and then looking for the new hope. So their artist statement is and I do want to I have like a little side message. I really appreciate the fact that people humor us with artist statements. I think one of the hardest things for even me to do, and I find with a lot of artists, is talking about your work or making statements about your work is a little uncomfortable because you're so in the moment and you're so visually creative that for someone to go like, what were you thinking? It's like, I do. I just don't think. You know what I mean? Like you think, but you don't realize you're thinking. So I really appreciate that. You know, people take the time to do this. So I'm gonna read what she said. She goes, I have to say that the photos I shared for the theme are a bit old, but I thought they were good for the theme. When I took the first photo, I was struck by the scene in the game, a man mourning and crying for his horse. That photo represents the general mood of 2020 for me. The second is more calm and peaceful, and I really hope the new year will be like that. I admit that I thought about the Star Wars movie too with A New Hope, with a little laughing emoji. Let's see. And then she said it did take her some time to find the shots, and it was worth the search. She talks a little bit about her virtual photography. She's been doing VP for less than a year, and she's still learning from the best in the community, amazing community. And she hopes to improve with time, but for now, she really enjoys sharing many of the shots she takes. There are many problems in real life, but VP often helps me to relax and think about more pleasant things. In the last months, I'm in love with the Ghost game, that's my word, and photo mode. And I started with Jedi Fallen Order, beautiful game with a good photo mode. I played that game many times, but sometimes I get back to it to take other shots. Okay.
Best photo
So
mode.
Yeah, for sure. The reason why I picked these were I like the transition. I like the not the transition, but the contrast even between the color palette, where she's playing with these sort of black and whites, and then you have these sort of sepia tones from the Star Wars image. And of course, the message where you're mourning the loss of something so close. I mean, you know, one of the things we can probably all agree is 2020 with COVID, and which affected so many personal things, the reverberations of that event. You know, there's just so much loss. Like, not, it could be, you know, personal or job or family or whatever. And the loss of a horse, you know, as we know with even Red Dead and with this game, you know, the connection to the animal that gets him around, that is with him at all times, is a huge loss. And so that's a really great image. It's great that he's kneeling down next to it. It just has all this like really deep emotion. And then, and I love the Star Wars one where he's just sort of looking to the sun, and, you know, and then we all, if you're familiar with Star Wars, you understand the whole concept of A New Hope and stuff like that. And so it just seems really very appropriate. So they're really two strong shots with really emoting a lot of emotion in them. And that's why I picked them. I thought they were really great.
I am absolutely in love with the Star Wars notion, like the A New Hope. And we also had, I see that Neo is in the chat, so I'm just gonna applaud her as well, because she used the Star Wars reference as well in her shots. She had one that was a Phantom Menace for 2020 and then New Hope for 2021. And I just love that. And here you also have the New Hope.
Yeah.
That's perfect. And I also think it fits the game so well. I don't know if you have like for everyone who hasn't played Fallen Order, first off, go and play it because it's perfect. And second, just to say what it's about um, the time after Order 66, and Cal is kind of one of the last Jedi, and Cal is basically a better trained and a lot more handsome Luke Skywalker. So it fits
Oh,
perfectly
okay.
with your New Hope.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I have issues with the handsome, but yeah, sure, go ahead.
He is. He is. I'm not gonna go away from that.
Yeah, it
You
looks
just
like a
see him
really
as the
beautiful
Joker,
game.
that's all.
I do. I'm sorry. That poor guy, well, forever, he was so good as the Joker and so demented that I cannot let go of that. It's so sad. But yeah, no, it looks like a really good game. Just the images that come from it are beautiful. The lighting looks really rich. And then, of course, with the Ghost game, it's just so rich too. I mean, it's such a beautiful game. The lighting in both games are really pretty sweet. Okay, so we can move on to the next one. Thank you, Black, for entering. These look great.
Yes, thank you all for entering.
Yeah, entering and giving us your comments. We really do appreciate that.
All right.
Okay, let's go
And
to the
I
next
just
one.
saw in chat that Kimchi Traveler's here. And guess who's up next? How awesome is that? She just entered the chat. That's perfect. So here we have photos from Jin, or Kimchi Traveler, from Cyberpunk's 2077. And it might be a bit awkward because our chat is a bit late. So there might be a bit of lag now. Sweet. All right. So she also wrote us some stuff about the shots, and I'm just gonna tell what she said. And when she heard about our December challenge, she knew that she had a few shots that would fit. And the first one is, of course, 2020 with no entry. Perfect. And she says about it describes how everyone's world was put on hold. We became prisoners in our own homes. Everything was closed. Places I took for granted, like going to the park with my son, was covered in tape and the gates were closed.
Oh.
And if you look at the shot, it's just, I mean, it says no entry. So that's just spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I need to even say more about that. If I
God,
say
that almost
something
brings
wrong,
tears to my eyes. It's so sad. Yeah.
yeah, right. Now I don't even know where that's from. Like, is that some secure area you need to sneak around, or why does it say no entry in the game? Maybe you can say something in the chat about that, like where you took that. Why is it closed? I'm just gonna wait if there comes something because, as I said, there's gonna be a bit of lag. And while I wait, I'm gonna keep on talking and go about the feeling of being prisoner in your home. Like I personally, I didn't have the feeling of being prisoner because I'm not really an outside person. I don't leave my home a lot anyway. It's kind of sad, but well, that's just how it is. But for me, what was the most difficult was to not be with family, like not being able to visit family when I want to, and or if you do, to always carry that fear around, like what if I'm infected and I don't have symptoms and I'm gonna spread it. What about you guys? Um, did you feel locked in more, or did you have more problems with the social distancing?
Well, I'm a I'm sort of an indoor person anyway. I find as I get older, I'm an introvert. And so I really thought in the beginning that I'm like, this will be no big deal because I don't go out anyway. So, but I think by the third or fourth month, it was really, I think I've started to realize like, wow, I do leave the house and I just never realized it. And then it started taking its toll on just what's going on. And then I think, well, in the US, you know, we have like a political atmosphere that's going on top of all of this, which didn't, in my feeling, just didn't help. So, but that's, yeah. But yeah, I could see like if you did go outdoors and things were cut off, because that, I mean, that just brings tears to my eyes. I just think that's just really sad that, you know, the world had gotten to that point, you know, that it had gotten that bad.
Right. And if you think about what Kimchi Traveler says, it's those things that you take for granted, like those really
Absolutely.
ordinary things, like going to the park with your
Right.
son. That's
Right.
not something
Yeah,
special.
yeah.
You don't really go out much or go party. You just go to
Right.
the park and then that's closed.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, if you look at her outlook for 2021, she's titled it Wearing Your Heart on Your Sleeve. And she's wishing that we'll become more open to each other. And the neon heart symbolizes understanding, hope, and love. And what she says about it is, in Korea, the color red is used to ward off evil spirits and bad luck. And since the World Cup 2002, red means passion and promotes social cohesion. I'm wishing 2021 brings positive vibes for everyone.
Oh.
I actually had to look that up about the World Cup 2002. And I read up on it. And apparently, red is the shirt color of the South Korean football team. And I'm
Oh,
German,
wow.
so I'm talking about soccer here. But I'm not going to call it soccer, I'm going to call it football because that's what it's named. And the fans are called the Red Devils. And red was historically associated with the communist North Korea. But the sheer amount of Red Devils, so the football fans in the streets during that World Cup, celebrating, kind of rebranded the color and transformed it into something symbolizing social connection and passion. Now, I hope I got that all right. So please correct me if I got something wrong, Jen. And I just love that story, and that was so interesting to read. So thanks so much for sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and she just said the mission in for the first shot is called Blow Up Arasaka Tower. So that's a mission where you go conquering, or where she got that shot. Oh, good. And my talk about the World Cup was good. Nice. Thank you, Internet, for the information. Oh, and when I asked her about one tip when shooting Cyberpunk, she said, don't be afraid to use emotes.
That's true. That's true.
Is that for their faces or something?
No, it's their body position. I don't think they have faces.
Oh.
They have faces. You can
They have
change.
faces too?
Yes, yes. You can change to grumpy or happy or sad or anything you want to. And it's for perfectly with poses that you picked. So yeah, yes.
Yeah, I only took like one quick glance at it. And tried the photo mode for like one shot or something. And the poses, I don't know how many they have, like 50 or something.
Something like that, because you have action poses and you have relaxing poses, like, you know, the breathtaking or Joker pose, like everything you want.
I'm
Not enough,
usually,
but still.
yeah. I'm usually not a big fan of emotes. Like in other games, I tend not to use it, but just for the few minutes I tried that cyberpunk photo mode, I saw what would be possible with it. Because there's so many and so many different combinations you can do them, that with that photo mode, I would definitely use emotes.
And
Nice.
it looks perfect and
Yeah.
it works perfectly. So yeah, it's very handy.
Yeah, I like I really like the ones that they had in Horizon Zero Dawn, and even the Sphinx one has like some facial emotes too, which are kind of nice. I do like them. So it's really cool that that game has that. I'm gonna wait till I get a better console to play though.
Well, you
Yeah,
still have
that's
time till, I don't know, fall this year to get a new console for that. Because they delayed the next gen upgrade.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
that's
not
probably about the time I'll be able to get a console because they're not
yeah,
available.
it's not gonna come anytime soon.
Right. Well, because they took it off, right? Because of bugs or something.
Right,
Didn't
right,
they?
right. Yeah.
Took it out. It's a
Yeah,
shame.
I can't wait to play it. I will,
Yeah.
because I've already seen it does have Blade Runner Easter eggs, and I can't
Yes, it
wait to
is.
find them.
It
Yeah.
has.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole Blade Runner atmosphere of the game. I will probably just, I don't know, recreate the film
You
step by
you
step.
you will be surprised, but it's have a filter and some weather that look like a Blade Runner, the new one.
Nice.
You remember what when he was looking for Harrison Ford character?
Yeah, Las Vegas.
And yeah, and all this yellow stuff. Oh, it's so amazing. It's so beautiful. You'll be in love with this game. I'm
Awesome.
pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think it's worth the wait.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, cool. Yeah, good
Yeah.
work. I love these pieces. Love the color palettes of them, and
I also love
just
the
sort of the
story
darkness.
behind it. Like that's
Yeah.
so
Oh
much
no,
thought put
that's
into it.
absolutely.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Who do we have
Okay.
now? Oh, we have Compute Art with Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay. Okay. So I picked these, and let me read out their statement. Thanks again for the featured, and let me be part of this. What you're doing is great. Very sad not to be here. I think there is a nice contrast between the two shots. The first from The Last of Us 2 had all the right combination and the right moment. There is a dilapidated city in the distance. It almost feels like the character has all its weight on her back. Then there is this crooked crane she is standing on. That's all she has to hang on, but it's not a stable refuge. Wow, that's just beautiful. Those are just all beautiful statements. And in the game at that point, the character is lost in her beliefs and also suffers from vertigo. All this combined represent a time of uncertainties. In opposition, the shot from Ghost of
Tsushima.
Yep, shows a total different world, an untouched nature. A character who looks like he is part of it. I'm just going to ignore that word. He belongs with the trees, the lake, the ducks, the mist, and the sun behind it, and a bit of mysticism. We might not be here to understand everything, but we are here to enjoy and take care of the world. Even if there is some uncertainties at the horizon, we are better prepared for it. God, I'm about to cry. It's so moving. Um, CompuArt, those are beautiful words. I mean, they're just, this is just so well written. It's just really beautiful. And it's everything that really touched me about these images and why I picked them is I just, the black and white next to those yellows and golds and, you know, the greens and the water and like just that color contrast is so beautiful. I just love seeing them next to each other. And I do love the human, the body language of each, because you can see where she's on all fours and it's obviously a stressful situation. It's very perilous. And again, I think, you know, as we've all tried to get through 2020, we can all relate to that. And then when you look at the body language of his name's Jen, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So when you see his body language and it's just this kind of very peaceful, Zen-like, you know, just which is what we kind of all want for 2021. You know, we want this craziness to stop and we want to get back to normal and we want to be able to go to the park without signs saying you can't go in, and, you know, it'd be nice to go grocery shopping without a mask on, that sort of things. And so it's just a really, it's nice contrast visually, just body language wise, it works really well. And I think just from, you know, when you look at the message of these games, you know, the game developers are really, the thing I love about games now is they're really trying to not just tell a story, but emotionally get you invested into those stories. And The Last of Us is very strong in getting that apart. And from the images I've seen from that, every image reiterates just the story of that, you know, the story she's going through and moving through. And these represent that. They're just excellent representations from those games. So great pick. Good job. Yay. Beautiful words. I love the written word that you shared with us. So
yeah, he's so good at written responses. We had one of him.
Oh my God.
Like,
I'm
in
just
the
like,
first show,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Still remember his Mirror Edge one, and it was spectacular. So yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Okay, cool. So wait, are we already through? We're not through everything yet, right?
No, we're not through everything. We still have one shot and then our special guest.
Yeah.
Or not one shot, actually two shots, but one person. We have the shots from Fallout 76 from Ultravioletra. Or
Hey.
hey. Or Bianca. Can I call her Bianca?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. All right. So I picked these because I love the symbolism in them. We talked a lot about symbolism today. Cool, huh? And
Yes.
actually, you have 3 symbols in there for me. Like, one is the color difference or the brightness difference between them. You have damp and dark colors on the left for 2020 and bright colors for 2021. And then you have the motive, like the nuclear mushroom on the left, and then going into a bright future on the right. And thirdly, you even have like the person on the left. You have that lone little wanderer all by himself, and on the right you have those 2 people holding hands going into an unknown, maybe brighter future. So maybe also hoping that we can finally be with other people again and kind of hold hands and do something together.
That's exactly. Yeah, I mean, you just hit it right there. I don't think I gotta say no more.
How sweet!
Oh gosh.
Well, tell us how
yes.
you took them.
Well, let me tell you something. One is intentional, and the other ain't. The first one, 2020, someone blowed up my fucking my camp all the way over there.
Oh no!
And so I'm looking at it like, oh, well, shit, you know. So I'm like, well, I have not took a picture of a mushroom cloud, so I'm just gonna do that. I'm alone. It's gonna look cool. So I did it like that. And for the second one, I actually went into the cloud with my friend, and I said to myself, I think I could do something with the emotes, right? And make it look like we're holding hands, but we really are not. It's just an
Oh
illusion that we are.
no! I would not have guessed.
Yeah, so as you can see with my little character is in the back, okay? And his is, he has the running emoji, okay? I'm like, I have the come over here emoji. So I made them hold hands and it turned out to be like that.
Oh, that's
How? That's so
beautiful.
cool.
Wow, that's genius.
Thank you. I I think you could do a lot with shadows, right? So
Right.
that's what I
Yeah.
tried to do. Hmm.
Yeah, and perspective.
Yes, ma'am. Hmm.
Oh, that's so cool. I
Nice.
remember we tried doing like a high five or a fist bump was it in Division with
Right.
rock paper
Mm-hmm.
scissors, and I don't know. It took us 40 minutes, and we never managed.
No, it was like, yeah, it was pretty sad.
Oh yeah, that's the beautiful thing about photo mode and the devs giving us those tools like the emotes. I mean, they probably didn't think we could do things like this, correct? Like
Right.
with, I know I don't have them, but with like Division 2, me and my friend Melly Dark Eyes, we do
Mhm.
shit
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this all the time. And we try to make it look like one of the pictures is her diving into the water. But anyway, that's something else. Anyway, so yes, I tried to make things with emotes, and I
Yeah.
thought this would be perfect. And like you said, yes, I think 2020 was awful for everybody as a collective, right?
Yeah.
Internationally.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And but for me, at least on Twitter, in my most horrible time, I came on Twitter the most perfect time. And anyway, I got to meet a lot of you, and I'm fortunate, and I feel like that is my 2021.
Oh.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh,
That is so moving. We need a virtual hug.
I hug you from over here from Texas.
God. So beautiful.
That's awesome. No,
Well, sorry.
I'm very happy with this particular. Oh, I'm sorry. You want to go
No, go
ahead?
ahead. You go ahead.
Okay. I'm just really I really liked this particular topic just because I think it's just great being able to do an image and when you're talking about symbolism or emoting a feeling, especially considering the year, it's just a perfect project to just somehow get that out of your system. We're always, as artists, you're always trying to emote something, and 2020 was a powerful kick in the butt. Like I don't think I've met anyone who you know hasn't come out of this, I don't want to say scarred, but definitely scratched, right? If you're not scarred, you're probably scratched by it. And so that's what I really liked about this particular project. And I like the fact that we can also do a contrast of that to this is what my experience is and this is what I hope for the future. And so all these pieces are really strong. Everything that was submitted, everything that was submitted was really amazing shots and just very strong. And concepts, when people were talking about this is my 2020 and this is my 2021. So just really well done. And these are just really fantastic. I love the sepia tone to the lighter sepia tone, right? Which, reiterates that this is darkness and we're looking really towards the light. The body language is, really well done. And yeah, just knocked out of the park. Really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
So
also
it's
love
just
that it's from Fallout 76 because we don't see many of the shots, but it has
right.
such a big art community around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs more representation in the VP community, I think. They're
I think
doing
it's
art
because it
projects.
was, yes, I think it's because it was the most hated at the time.
Right.
But whenever I went in, like, I took advantage of photo mode. I mean, I can't say for the quests and stuff, but I the photo mode for me is one of the best.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's also because it's multiplayer, because Red Dead and Division kind of have the same fate. they're kind of overlooked in the community, but have sort of their own separate art communities,
Yes.
Right. Hmm.
and they're all brilliant.
Yeah, I agree. The pictures I've seen from it are just really, really actually cool. I really like, because it took me a while to go like, what's going on? Is this like the Sims or what? What's happening? Is this like Sims, an online version of the Sims? That's all I could think about. But all the work is just so beautiful that comes out of it.
And
And
very
I remember
creative.
because I remember the fallout about Fallout, but and I was like, wow, why do people hate this game so much? Because the stuff I'm seeing from it looks like it's actually very fascinating.
Right.
It just really perplexed me. I was like, I just don't get why there's so much hate for this game.
I think there was a lot of bugs as well. Something bad balancing, something like that.
Oh,
So
okay.
it
Well,
was
that could
actually
do
the
it. Yeah.
gameplay part of it, not the photo part of it.
Oh, I see. Well, what's the photo mode like? I mean, have you played Red Dead?
I have the difference between those two. Red Dead has the camera, right? And I
Right.
think it gives you so many filters, but I don't think it gives you a lot of filters because it's old, like the style, vintage, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like I don't think there's Rockstar Editor for there yet. But for this one, it gives you different types of filters that are very saturated. Like I gave you the most unsaturated of a lot of them. Like it's too bright, and the depth of field. I mean, it could go so far and so close to you. I also think the zooming, right? You could take really amazing pictures of your face or a landscape, like make it very far. So I think that's if you ever do try it, I think you'd enjoy it.
Okay.
It's on Game Pass, so I will definitely try it at some point. But I'm just so limited with time at the moment. I can't invest in another multiplayer.
I know there's just so many that came out.
I know. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Good job. Okay, awesome.
Well, it is time for something special. Our special guest.
Hey.
Yay! So our special guest is Hedda, because she was the leading person in doing this awesome thing here, the 2020 yearbook of the Captured Collective. She was the one doing all that artsy editing and all that layouting and all the hard work. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Well, I just want to
Thank you.
applaud it because I used to do that stuff for a living and I know how hard it is. And the fact that you guys were able to pull that together and just make it so magnificent looking is just, such a huge feat. Just such a great idea. Great job. Great job.
Well, talking of idea, I have to say, I don't know, I don't think many people know that, but I was actually involved in doing this yearbook thing.
Oh.
And I was there when that idea was born. Can you tell us how we actually got up with that idea? Because I don't remember.
Actually, I want to be reminded of this because I can't remember. And I was going into the chat we have with all of us, and you can't search the
No,
comment
you
section.
can't go back.
No, you can't go back. So I couldn't remember how it started. I
Me
only have the
neither.
memory. I just remember I was like, oh, we should do something for Christmas. And I was like, maybe choose our favorite shot for 2020. And I don't know, it was just a throw idea like this. And I think it was you.
Yeah, it was me.
Who started to emulate the idea of the yearbook. And so I was like, oh, like my Buffy the Vampire Slayer yearbook. And I took photos and she took
Right.
photos. and you have the other two around, just going back and forth between Emma and I. And then it was, oh, we could take all the photos from the community. And I guess that's how it just escalated. And I think the week after, we started to just throw it away, not away, but into the community with the post with the show and quote. Je vais y arriver. And it was well received. And then we just let it flow. I think it took 3-4 months.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
that was a couple of reminders. I don't actually remember. It might be
yes,
three, maybe.
3
It was a
months
couple
of
of months, yeah.
and because I was so low at it, I had to do it in 2 weeks. Because
Wow.
I was always like, I have time. And then it was already December. And I was like, yeah. So I'm a bit short in time, so it wasn't for Christmas. And we did it for the New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve. Sorry.
And I think that
Well,
was a perfect
perfect
time.
timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was a really great way to, have that at the end of the year. No, it was perfect.
Thank you.
And the biggest part of it were these shots from everyone and their favorite quote. And oh, that's the wrong one. Let me just pull that up. And
I love it.
I don't know why, but I saw so many comments of people saying, "Oh, how great! You actually picked my favorite shot. I don't know how you did it." I think many people just forgot that they actually gave it to us.
Right, right.
Don't forget.
I think I'm one of those that said that because I sent in my picture and my quote, but I didn't think you would actually use it. So,
Why?
like, seeing it on the screen right there, I'm just like, oh my God, it's mine.
All right, you're on there. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's actually there. Usually none of my stuff gets picked. So I was like overly excited.
Yeah, we tried to reach as many people as possible to enter their stuff, so we could have like a big overview of the whole community.
Yeah, and just a bit of a secret. I personally contacted some of them because I saw they didn't enter the thread. And I was like, they're part of the community. So I have to ask them. So for some, I already been in contact. So I contacted them directly to have their short and quote. So I was like, you have one day.
Yeah, that was me.
I have to confess, some
From
people
now, you have
I said,
24
you
hours.
have to participate. Go on, do it. You don't want to, but do it. Do it. It's worth it. I think Mark's on this page as well. I told Mark, you gotta participate. You don't know why, but you will.
Yeah,
So for next year, people, when we tell you to send us your stuff, you better do it.
yeah, but there's so many people in this community. I couldn't reach everyone. Maybe next week. Next year.
Next year, yeah. Was there a special quote or page that struck you that was your favorite or that was horrible to do, like not your favorite? Something that gave you sleepless nights?
Yes, the first one with your shop and my own page with the challenges. That
Oh,
one was the last page done because I couldn't write anything. So that page and the first one with your shop, that was the last page is done and the more critical. I'd say.
Because yours with the challenges, you also had to write like a big text. It was probably the text that was the most difficult.
Yeah, because as you know, I'm not very good at talking about myself. So I was like, what should I write? And it was all blank for 4 months. I was like, it's all blank. And it's all written the day before I posted, I think. Just the day before. Deadlines.
Deadlines are our best motivation.
Yes, deadline works.
And we also we are so proud that we are actually in this, that we have our own very own page with our names on it and our stuff on it. It kind of makes you feel official.
But you are.
Yeah, but it's still cool. How did you select the pages that were featured, and how did you reach them? Like, how did you get the texts for it?
I didn't select anyone. I just took all the pages in the community and I sent them a DM and asking them to write a short description of the pages and what they do, what their goal was, and their best moment of 2020. For some, it was a bit harder than the others. But then Gamergram gave me a well done description. So eventually I gave it as an example. Like, see, this is what I want. So you have the description, you have the stuff, and you have the goals, and you have the best moment. So yeah, we reached everyone.
That's a lot.
It's awesome. Yeah.
And it's not only like shows like us or events like Photo Mod Monday, but also like all the community pages, like the VGP network. And I picked that page because one of the VGP network is actually here.
Oh,
Which are Violetra, Bianca, you're part of the network, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How
Woohoo!
was can you tell us like how was it received to be in that yearbook? And did you talk about in the network what to put in there, and what was your best moment of 2020 in the community?
Well, you know, with this, I think it was more with Steph and them. I was still kind of new to it. So when this was getting panned out, I was learning more about this. But that's from my perspective, though. However, I did talk about this with Casual Chick
Mm-hmm.
Gamer. Do you know her?
Mm-hmm.
And we were discussing how this looks this looks professional. Like, you have to buy this thing. So
Yeah, no,
congratulations,
it's
guys. This is sick. I'm
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
no, it's gorgeous. The whole
But yeah,
thing is just gorgeous.
Bianca was one of the last addition because I was talking with Steffi all along the way, actually, and we had a lot of talks. So Jack did the background, and
Oh, nice. Good work, Jack.
and Matt and Bianca were the last addition to it. It was in December.
Because you just joined.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I'm a noob.
Well, you already have like two new noobs, so now you're the old noob.
Yes, we're boobs now.
Noob the
So as long
boobs.
as you're not boobs.
Yes. However, we do have we do have a few new people. Evie, I think it's Catch Me Gaming,
Mm-hmm.
Casual Gamer Chick, and Julie or Jules VP. They just got entered to
It's
the
getting
network.
crowded over there.
It's a big family. So like you can't tell the cops, so it won't be so the COVID cops don't have to come in and break down the
Right.
house.
Well, it's all virtual. It's all good. And I accidentally already went to the next slide. I'm sorry for that. I didn't want to cut you off. But that shows kind of my favorite editing part of it, because all the monthly recap pages, they are so beautifully edited. Like the shot on the left side and then the news on the right. Those are
I
my
feel like I gotta
favorite
pay
parts of
$20
it.
for this.
I'm
You
sorry,
should
what?
have known that before.
I feel like I gotta pay money for this. It's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's an idea for next year.
No.
We actually, since we are at this page, we actually had a little internal discussion about it, whether to keep it there or not. And because many news of this year were so sad, and we didn't want to depress people. But Hada, you had a very big explanation why it was so important to you to keep these pages. Can you tell the others what you said?
I have an enormous headache. So it's I will try. I promise I will try. Spoiler, I was the one insisting on these pages. The other ones, you have Peter and Yggdrasil. And the other one weren't so keen to it, including Emma, because they were like, yeah, but it's 2020 and it's all bad and it's all sad and people don't want to remember this year. And I was like, yeah, but that's the point. You can't forget it. And then you lived it, and now you have survived it. And reading all those events, it just reminds you what you survived and how you can move on. So yes, I insisted with that, with this page, and but in fact, when I started to do them, it was quicker than I thought actually, and it was only the January, February, and March, and then it was way lighter. But the January one, which was actually the example, like the mock-up of the notable events, it was very hard. And then when I sent it over the team, I was like, oh my god, they are so right. It's so dark and it's horrible. I was on the edge of letting go and just tell them you're right. So we just cut it out. But I really wanted this, so people can remember everything they have survived. Even in the community, I know some people have had it really, really bad, but they are still here. So they survived. So to me, I wanted them to look back and just remember they are here now and they are alive. And that's what is really important to me, actually. So I hope it is for them too.
I'm very happy you kept them, and
Yeah.
you've proven us wrong. They are beautiful.
Yeah, they really are.
What not killing you, making you stronger. So yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
But then you really put me into doubts. I was like, she's right. It's very dark.
Yeah, I
So
do
that's
have
why.
that effect on people sometimes.
But that's why I asked Matt, because this is still his page. This is still his. So I was like, am I thinking this? And I'm thinking that. So what should I do? And he said, okay, but then you have to keep it light and positive. Yeah, right. Of course. But for some months, it was really hard to give it a lighter touch. But then the more you went into 2020, the more it was lighter. and less dark. So, phew,
It worked out well in the end.
It
I
really
got
did.
lucky.
Right. All right. That concludes our show. And I have this thank you page at the end. Heather, any closing remarks about the yearbook? Something for next year? Like, don't submit verticals or only 16:9 aspect ratio. Please don't use squares.
No, the frames, I think everyone should do and pick the shots they really that redefine us. So no matter the frame, no matter the cropping or anything, just no letters, no writings on the photos. So I can use them because, as you can see, it's very small. So if you put writings on them, so you can't see the image. But that's it. And participate.
Right. It will
See
be
you in
fun to
September.
see. It will be fun to see if you compare this year and next year, how the people changed in it. Like how individual people change their favorite style, and how many new people are there, how many old people maybe left. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. And actually, Matt really liked it. So we are creating now a monthly issue. So we're working at the moment on the January. Is loading the tools. So it's a bit like a kiddo. It's so cute. And we hope it will be well received as the yearbook.
Oh,
Nice.
interesting.
You'll see soon. I did the pages
Looking
just
forward to it.
yes. I will send it. Don't worry.
Sweet. Okay. That was it. That was our
Woohoo!
show. And you guys already know our theme for this month, and we already had some amazing entries. But I'm just going to bring it up so you don't forget about it. This month is race, and you still have a bit over a week, like 1.5 week, to enter.
Nice.
Do you want to say
You'll need
anything? Closing
Raise.
remarks?
Raise. I'm just gonna say raise. And Amma puts water in her coke. No, I'm excited about it. 2021 was perfect and wonderful, and you guys were awesome, and I appreciate you participating and giving us beautiful words and really just awesome feelings, man. Lots of feelings going on here. Thank you.
Oh, don't cry.
And
Bye.
here's the next one, raise. So, which is perfect for 2021. So it's going to be better.
Oh my
It's
God, you're right. That's so smart. Look at us being so smart.
We're so smart. We truly did not realize it.
Right.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, we did it on purpose. There's a whole
Absolutely.
thought process behind it. We have a statement.
Well, we were trying to pick something easy to start off easy in the year.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. We had two. There was one that's tough and then one that was easy. And we picked the easy one for
So
January.
yeah, this one's the easy one, and next month is gonna be a tough one.
Yeah.
So you know
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
what month is.
All right.
So,
Hope
yeah,
to see you
awesome.
all submitting to this, and thank you all for being here. Thank you for all the people in the chat. It's been an amazing chat today. Like great interaction.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys rock.
Okay, y'all. I'll
And
see you
you'll
guys later.
have
Okay.
a 2021
right.
year.
Well done.
Okay.
Bye.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.